also cover something that's really important for a lot of my clients. And it's for myself as well. It's one of those things I've been practicing more and more as I realize the importance of scheduling time and actually creating the space for more creativity and deep work in my schedule. It's really easy to get in the habit of just doing the tasks and doing the grind and thinking that's enough. But really, creating the space and the time, both physical and mental space, leads to more time across the board in a lot of different ways. And so I wanted to go over some of the suggestions I have for why it's important to prioritize creating the space for deep work and creativity, whatever it is for you, because it can be so beneficial to your life overall. Not even including the actual stuff that gets birthed when you have that time for deep work, the creativity that you can share with the world. I'm a little distracted because it's the holiday and there's helicopters flying over and there's leaves blowing into my office. But this is another reason why you want to create some structure around deep work. How can you make it so every little piece of deep work you can get in is beneficial on multiple levels for you? So just start with thinking about the fact that you have to make room for it, both thinking about it and the physical space. You know, I always have enough physical space on my desk to be able to sit down and do the next work I have to do. That's not to say there's other areas that are a little bit more crowded in my life and space. That's not to say everything is hyper organized all the time. That is to say I have enough space to do most of what I need to do at a moment's notice, at the drop of a hat, if you will. I've been speaking in a lot of metaphors this weekend. But let's talk about the different ways that leveraging this effort is going to help. So the first one is, the more you use your imagination, the more your unconscious brain can solve problems for you. So practicing with some creativity helps your brain stay in practice for how to solve problems. It's why I look at my calendar the night before so I can sleep on it, and the next morning there's often solutions to a couple of the small problems that came up in regards to what the schedule is for the next day. Even something as simple as coloring a coloring page can loosen up your brain enough to help you solve other problems that you're also working on. So that's why you want to have that time for creativity, so you can use your imagination to the best of its ability. The second reason prioritizing some deep work time is that it gives you the chance to work on something and then come up for air, let it breathe, add some juices into the mix, percolate, if you will, and so it can unfold and unravel as new inputs are received and new connections are made. When you just grind all the time, when you just stick with your checklist and the tasks at hand, you don't always create enough experimentation space to get a better result. So rather than focusing on the perfection of checking everything off the list, strive for more complete solutions to what you're working on, more complete creativity in what you're bringing to the table. And it helps you look at both the details and the bigger picture. So when you work on something deeply for a little while and then you have to stop because you have to move on to something else, you get to then see how all the pieces fit together. And that can be really time saving in a lot of ways. It can help you let go of some things. It can help you bring in some things that will make it all go smoother. The third thing that can really be helped is this concept of discernment and how to prioritize. Not everything in your life is the same level of importance. We don't love every single option for outfits in our closet. We probably love a couple and we like, and some are just fine. But we get to this point where instead of making a good decision, we get to the point where we just want to have it all stay the same. And so we say we love it all. But that's not actually true. So by practicing some deep work and then practicing that pattern recognition of how it fits into our bigger picture vision, you learn to discern what is most important out of this list, what is most important about these activities, what is most important about these items. And then you can let go of the things that are in your way. So discernment is number 3. The fourth thing is just that it lets you recharge your batteries. By turning into your creative mind and doing something that is not so task oriented or brand new, it lets your brain recharge, replenish, and energize. So sometimes spending 10 minutes doing something creative is actually more energizing than taking a nap or working out. So it's important to have a piece of creativity in every single day so that you can stay with your batteries topped off. And the fifth thing, and the last thing I'm going to talk about in terms of creating space, yes, space, is the lack of distractions. So when you have a space and you dedicate a space, physical and mental, to working on something deep, important, creative, something new, it keeps other distractions at a minimum because it allows you to focus and get more done in a shorter amount of time, and you practice focus. And so you get better at keeping distractions from interrupting you. You get better at refocusing when they do. Yeah, so there's a fine line between inspiration and overwhelm, and that's where I see most of my clients getting into trouble. I need all these things in my space, in my area, to be creative. But I challenge you to try letting those things go, pushing them to the side for a little while, seeing what comes up when they are not in your immediate vicinity, to see what other resources in your imagination and pattern recognition in your own brain can help you solve the problem without all of the stuff in the way. So welcome. If you're a new viewer, tell all your friends. I'm going to be going live every Monday at 1 p.m. Mountain Time and giving a little tidbit about how getting organized in some form or fashion will help you leverage your time so that you can actually get more done and have more space in your days with less frustration. Thanks for joining me. See you next week. Bye.